Yo, welcome to another Unwrapping Sam video. Although I've always been a man, I have not always consciously known that. So I basically lived 23 years of my life as a woman, and then so far a couple of them as a man. And you think, how the hell can you do that? How many changes have you had to have? How many different experiences have you already lived? How do you even deal with that? Well, that's what I want to get into in this video.
How the hell?
I want to get into all the changes I've had to make so far and how I dealt with them, how I am dealing with them. This is a process that takes a whole life. I mean, you're never completed as a person anyway. You don't have to be trans to spend all your life growing up and developing yourself as a person, learning from a lot of experiences from a lot of people. In our case, it's also a physical process, probably way stronger than the physical process that a cisgender person goes through. So before I mention anything else, I would like to emphasize how important people around you are. I tend to talk about this in most of the video, how your surroundings affect you, how important your friends are, how important people are for people. All of this for me has been possible. It's been possible because of the people that surround me. Of course, everything comes from me at the end, but they help me build this confidence that now I have in myself. At that point, I needed them to be there to tell me, hey, just be yourself, it's okay. We do need that. We are social humans. Having a really positive group of people around you, it's really essential. So having said this, the first big change that I would highlight would be the change of pronouns. 23 years as a girl, a couple years as a boy. 23 years using she, 2 years using he. How the hell do you do that? Believe me, you do it. I have to mention here how, for me, English, the language, is a trans-friendly language. In English, you only use the pronouns to make the gender of words. In Spanish, you have to change the last letter of most of the words to make the gender. You basically don't make the gender just with the pronoun. So going through this in Spanish is way more complex for me than doing it in English. I basically came out as transgender when I was in London. At the beginning, you're never confident. I remember the first time I had to do it. Somebody, what's your name? I didn't even know what I had to say. I was like, wait, if I say the name I have chosen, they're gonna find out
That is not the real one, and then maybe I use the wrong pronouns, but if I use the right pronouns, maybe they are less confused.
It's just you worrying about everything else but not about yourself. You have to go out there and you have to be confident and you have to know who you are and what's best for you.
It's very hard.
I remember feeling really scared, feeling completely naked in a very big world, fears everywhere. Truth is, my friends, my people really supported me and really helped me. At the beginning, I was just like tripping a lot on my own pronouns, on my own name, having a hard time meeting new people. I even felt embarrassed, feeling that I was the annoying person of the group because people had to deal with my new pronouns. That does not matter. It's just you being happy. You learn with time to be confident and to know who you really are. At the end, if you're transitioning, it's not because you're choosing to transition, it's just because you are like this, you can't do something else. If you don't trust, nobody else will. You have to be strong enough to pull through yourself. So yeah, I remember being really scared and tripping on my pronouns all the time. This is in English, because in Spanish, when I went home for the first holidays after coming out as a trans man, I would find myself avoiding saying words with gender because it would be very uncomfortable. I got used to it after like a year or more. It took me time, but the most important thing that you learn and that you have to learn is that what you do is right and you're not bothering anybody, and if you are, it's their problem. You have to fight for who you are. If you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. So yeah, I spent a lot of time trying to get my own pronouns right. So it's a thing, it happens. Being wrong is fine as long as you apologize and then you move on. Talking to people. It's not easy to go and see old friends that haven't seen you for a long time and having to explain to them, this is what's going on right now. You feel exposed. You are afraid of them rejecting you. You have to protect yourself. You have to be very aware. You can be rejected. The sad part of it is that it actually happens. Some people will reject you. They miss out and they are just not worth it. It can be quite tricky and many people will disappoint you. Many people have disappointed me and will disappoint me in the future. If they are good people, they will support you and they will love you because you're just being the bravest person in the world. That is beautiful and that is amazing. If we're not brave, nobody else will be brave for us.
The name.
Can you imagine suddenly having to change a name that you have lived 23 years of your life with, that you have been called since you were a kid, and that suddenly you realize that it does not fit with you at all? Yeah, I have chosen the name Sam because it gives me peace. It's also a gender neutral name, can be from Samantha and can be Sam, Samuel. I don't think it's a Spanish name, although I know somebody who's called Sam in Spain. I used to think a lot about it, and then one day I was just like, life is long. If you don't feel comfortable with this name, you can always change it again. It's very important to take things easy, not have any rush. Step by step, all the pieces of the puzzle will make sense. So I chose Sam. I am comfortable with it. Sam, Samuel, Samuel. Telling people is just scary by itself. The first time you have to give too many explanations. It's really tricky because you're just not confident. You're not trained at school. They don't train you to how to deal with a situation like this, how to deal with yourself being transgender. It should be something really natural, but sadly it's not. So you have to learn yourself with your life experiences and confront all your fears yourself. Bathrooms.
Oh God.
Yeah, you probably can't imagine what it's like. It's not that I discovered everything. It's been a process. But truth is, there's always a first time for everything. Although I did not know I was trans from one day to another, I did have to start changing things at some point. Changing bathrooms was from one day to another.
How the hell?
My friends were really supportive and really helped me out there. I have amazing friends that come with me to the bathroom if I don't feel like going alone. In London, for me, it's way easier to go to the bathroom. But in Spain, I feel more afraid of it. I have found people calling me out in Spain, but I haven't found people telling me anything in London. Society is slowly changing. In London, people are way more advanced in that way. Here, I still have troubles going to the bathroom. Again, I'm building my
Confidence.
Although most of it, almost 100% of the changes I did were for me to be more happy, to be the person who I really am. Some of them made me more aware of fears. My body, I started judging it way more since I came out as transgender. Having way more things that I was not feeling comfortable with. It's just tricky to accept you as a man when society tells you that your body is not a man's body. That has definitely been increased. I am being completely myself. I am free. I walk differently. I speak differently. I dress differently. This freedom comes from me fighting for it. I am proud of how far I've came, proud of the incredible group of friends, family I have. They prove that love is the most important thing that we have. I have had people telling me, why do you change? I think it's very common among transgender people to think that we do not need to be ourselves to be happy. What I mean is, being transgender, it's just difficult itself. It's very easy to deny that you are trans for the longest time, trying to avoid coming out as trans, trying to avoid everything that you have to go through after coming out, because you think that you can live your life happily if you don't come out. Here is the thing, you don't choose to be trans, you are trans, so if you don't fight for who you really are, you're just definitely not going to be happy. And it is true, it is a hard path, but believe me friend if I tell you that you can't compare not coming out as trans with coming out and fighting to be happy and embarking on your new life. I thought I was a happy person, I was okay with myself. Life did not suck. Now life, it's incredible. The sound of freedom, the smell of freedom, the taste of freedom.
I'm getting so passionate here.
Denying who we really are in any way is just never positive for yourself. It's who you are. Of course it is scary, but it can be done and it's possible to be happy. The first step is to admit that we are like this and that we can't change it, but that we don't have to change it, that we're beautiful like this and we're just worthy as people and we have a lot to say and a lot to bring to other people. So yeah. Here are some facts that I had to deal with after coming out, that I have to deal with, and that I will be fighting against all my life, and that it's okay. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you're well and safe. Stay strong, friend. Over and out.